Hello everyone, welcome to our discussion of the FASB codification and how we're going to how we can use it to find accounting standards. So we're starting here on the FASB website, fasb.org, and if we want to look at the codification, we go to Standards and Accounting Standards Codification. So there is a professional view of this, which allows for a lot of functionality, but requires you to pay for it. On the right, you'll see the basic view. So all you need to do is check that I am not a robot and access the basic view. It will ask you each time to accept the terms and conditions, and you'll get yourself to the codification basic view. So the basic view is not going to allow us to simply the professional view allows you to take pieces of the codification, different sections, and kind of make one document. It allows for printing. It allows for more searchability. So we have to deal with that so that we can use the free. Everything here is in the same, as the professional view. It's just a little, well, I should say a lot more, a little more difficult to find, and so you have to use it a little differently because you can't just search it in the normal way. So how are we going to use this? First of all, this is what it looks. Everything is organized by topic. So you see the first topic, general principles. That's what we're talking a lot about in this first week of our class and that sort of thing. And you can see that each broad topic, then when you click on it, goes down to and has these section numbers, if you will, that then break down to more sections, smaller or subsections, if you will. So presentation, how things should look, is the next broad topic, and you can see that this general principles was 100, presentation is 200, assets 300. Okay, and then under presentation, if you want to do specifics about the balance sheet, you can break that down into subsection 210. Or section 210, and then subsections overall and offsetting. Okay, so that those are subsections. You just keep drilling down to find the greater detail until you finally get to the actual rules. All right, so a lot of this is how is things organized. And when you finally get to it, you'll see it organized this way. This is how you refer to anything in the codification. This is your section, subsection, and then your paragraph, subparagraph. So this 210.10.05.1 would reference and tell somebody that this is what where you're going. If you wanted to reference, you said this whole thing, you could just say 210.10.05, and that would include all of these paragraphs, that sort of thing. So all of them are like that way. So when you're trying to find something, first thing you probably need to know is, am I looking about something about that has to do with assets? All right, and then is it cash and cash equivalents? And then I can look at the overall, and status is always going to be the first thing, because that tells us whether new rules have been put in play or rules are kept sometimes after they're obsolete because the new rules refer back to them. And so the status will tell you when that new rule comes into play, when the old rule goes out of use, that sort of thing. So that first status is there. You've got glossary. It's got different scope exceptions. Scope exception says when does it apply and when does it not apply. The guidance there. So receivables, we understand that. Accounts receivable, inventory, we should recognize. Property, plant, and equipment, long-term assets. You've got a big section on liabilities and different types of liabilities to drill down and find more information. Equity, revenue, expenses. So there's your full pieces of the financial statement. If it's specific types of expenses are listed, and you see there's not a lot because expenses are dealt with in lots of other areas. Then if you can't find what you're looking for as you drill down and look at the various assets, liabilities, then maybe it's under broad transactions. Okay, so for instance, while interest is an expense, because it has enough application to lots of different scenarios, they have a section just for interest under broad transactions. Industry is for specific types of businesses. The FASB's tried to get away from giving specific industry guidance and more generalized guidance, and so that has become less important, the industry guidance, but there are still several pieces of guidance specifically for nonprofits, healthcare entities, that sort of thing. Now, because we can't search things, I'll tell you one way that I'll find things using the basic view is if it's a term that I'm not finding as I look under assets, liabilities, or even broad transaction, I might go to the master glossary and I might enter a term there because I can filter the master glossary. All right, so and find that topic, the definition, and it will reference what section or what topic I should go to in the glossary. So that is a way of kind of searching but not really searching, all right, for various terms that will help you finding that. So that's kind of how this works. Again, if we were to utilize that, go to the topic, all right, go to a implementation, and we actually have guidance and illustrations, examples, all right, of what it looks like. Each of these has a reference. This is what, when I give you an assignment or ask you to make reference, this is what you want to make sure you include that you're referring to, so someone else could come along and find exactly the same thing, compare what they read, that sort of thing in the FASB codification. So that's how the rules, when the FASB passes a new rule, it's updated here. So this is a good example. Every one of these pieces has been updated recently, and so you can see the notes, you can see the standards update. Okay, that's what happens when some of the rules change. Okay, in this case, broad transactions, there was the old rules having to do with leases was in 840. It was enough changes that rather than just, they created an entirely new section or topic for leases 842. Okay, so you see where all of those refer over to the topic of leases 842. So we're going to actually dive into that a little later in the semester. But that is how we use the codification. So we need to get familiar, spend some time learning it, have our discussion about finding and sharing how you found it, so that we all can get some practice and get better at utilizing, reading, finding things in this, because this is how professional accountants find the rules that they need to apply in their work.